Hi, so we're looking in our Shining Star Unit 6 workbook pages, page 150. And we're looking at a grammar lesson here, also from your textbook, page 238. The grammar lesson is using will for the future. Will do something. So the text you were reading had to do with future ideas, future inventions. What will happen in the future? People will live in giant apartment buildings. Okay. We also use will in a contraction form very often. You'll, we'll, I'll. Okay. With the word not, W-O is used instead of W-I. So we say won't. So we have I will, and the contraction is I'll. I'll. I won't, I will not. The contraction isn't I won't, it is I won't. I will not, I won't. And that's what's being explained right here. Won't. She sneezed and sighed. Just think, on Mars there won't be any weeds to make her sneeze. So let's look at what you're doing. It says, write a prediction. What do you think will be in the future? What will the future be like for food? People will eat only vegetables. People will eat dehydrated food. People will eat only potatoes. What will the future be? Airplanes. Airplanes will fly very quickly. Airplanes will become hover planes. Airplanes will, okay, everyone will have airplanes. That would be cool. Vacations. Will you be able to vacation in Mars? People will take vacations on Mars. People won't take vacations on Mars. Robots. What about robots? People will use robots to clean their homes. People will use robots to fix their cars. Will. Computers. People will. Think about now, people have these iPhones and the iPhone watches. So they basically, they're wearing a little computer on their body at all time. Maybe the next step is you'll have it put in your body, right? You'll have like a little computer put in your arm. People will have computers in their arms. Sports. What will sports look like in the future? People will play sports on jetpacks. I don't know. You make your own prediction. What will it be like in the future? And looking down here, we're making contractions. Okay. I'm glad we will not. I'm glad we will not. Remember, we say won't. I'm glad we won't. I'm glad we won't be crowded on Mars. You will be able to explore new places. You will, we say you'll. How do we write that? You'll, right? You'll. We will becomes we'll. We'll have lots of room to ride our bikes. We'll probably wear them out fast, but I probably won't get a new one, even on Mars. Okay, good job. Okay, read the rules for taking notes, research notes from page 155 in your workbook. So read the textbook, page 239. Imagine that you are writing a research report about planes of the future, and your textbook is a reference source. Reread the section on hypersonic planes. So what are you doing? You're looking at hypersonic planes. Oops, doesn't help if you cross it out. Okay? And you're going to pretend that you're going to imagine that you're doing research. So looking at hypersonic planes on page 229, complete these 2 note cards. Follow these steps. Step 1, summarize facts that tell about the subtopic. Use some words from the text and some of your own words. For the first note card, use the hints in parentheses. For the second, take notes on important details. Note the source. List the title of your textbook, the authors, the publisher, the place, and the date of publication and page number. Okay, so development of the hypersonic plane. Who is doing what? What will it do? What's it doing now? And what will it do in the future? And what's the source? Now the source is easy. What is the source? The source is Shining Star, Level A, and who is the publisher? I think it's Longman. I think it's Pearson Longman. And the author, there are 3 authors, I think, listed. Okay? That's the source. Now, if we look down at the bottom, the next one, it says the X-43A prototype plane. So find some facts from the textbook, but put them at least half in your own words. And what was the source? And what was the page number? The page numbers for both are actually page 239, right? So page 239. And that's what you're doing. You're looking at your textbook and you're taking research notes based on what you see in the textbook. Hypersonic plane, prototype plane. These are facts or main ideas, or details, I'm sorry. And the source is where did it come from? Shining Star, Level A. There you go. So we're looking at the next page now, which is 153. Read the student newspaper article carefully. Find the mistakes in contractions, punctuation, capitalization, spelling, and word order. Rewrite the article correctly on the lines below. Now the first step is finding the errors. So what will happen in the future? There's an error there, right? I'll let you in on my top 10 predictions. If you'll, like that. Okay. And there should be a comma here. People will live in underwater cities. What's wrong in that sentence? If you say that's wrong, you're correct. We have to change the Y to I, and we're going to add ES. Students will fly to school in planes. What's wrong? The spelling is wrong. What's the correct way to spell planes? P-L-A-N-E-S. That's right. Dogs will grow as large as horses. Is it possessive? No. So we're going to get rid of the apostrophe. It'll simply be dogs. Most houses will had glass floors. Well, that doesn't sound right. And of course, you need to capitalize. Most houses will not had. We're talking about the future. Will have. Astronauts will explore Saturn's rings. Whose rings? Saturn's rings. So apostrophe S. Doctors will inserted. That's the past tense. We don't want inserted. Doctors will insert computer chips in patients, period. football players will wearing or will wear? Will wear shiny, comma, metal uniforms. Scientist, that's not spelled right. What's the proper way to spell scientist? S-C-I-E-N-T-I-S-T-S. Scientist. And Jupiter is the name of a planet. Creatures will arrives. They will arrive, right? From other planets. Now, planet isn't the name of a planet. It's a common noun, so we're going to use a little p. And robots fight humans. We want to use will because we're doing the future. Okay. Now, fellow students, I'm asking you, do you agree? Give me your feedback. Okay, so then you're going to take this and rewrite it. Though, to be honest, if you do all the corrections, you don't need to rewrite it. You know what I'd rather you do? I would rather you give feedback. Do you agree or not? I agree that in the future, blank will blank. However, I do not agree that a different blank will blank. All right, so this will give me a good check to see who actually watched the video. Lovely.